Paranormal activities are fun, sometimes they are not. We have compiled a couple of paranormal and slightly abnormal occurrences. Do you think they are normal? Well, only one way to find out. How blind can you really be not to notice that there is something demonic ongoing on this site? I mean, it is hidden too plain in sight to whoever cares to check the stones out.
Giant portal for the local principalities. Now, if you saw my last video, you know about the stones and what I mentioned about the rituals. Look what it's called. Transcending. Come on, guys. Really? If you can't, I don't even, do I have to explain this? Now, I actually came here before and I prayed standing here. I'm gonna show you. Right there. And you know what happened? My feet started burning when I saw, because I was praying against this thing. But look, watch this. Look at this. Look at these hands. Fallen ones.
The reason many of you are saying this guy is wrong, because one, you don't read your Bible, and two, you are blinded by the truth. I pray the Lord opens your eyes.
Are you familiar with the story of the orphan? Yeah? So, what if you were told that that story isn't just a story, that it actually came from a real-life event?
Did you know The Orphan is based on a true story? The story of Barbora Skrylova made headlines when a 13-year-old boy named Adam was reported missing in Norway, and it was later revealed that he was actually a 33-year-old woman from the Czech Republic who suffered from a disease called hypopituitarism. Skrlova's criminal activities began when she moved in with Klara and Katerina Maurova and Klara's two sons. Skrlova took control of the family and manipulated them by accusing Klara's sons of wrongdoing and convincing the sisters to inflict increasingly violent punishments on them. This eventually led to the boys being locked in the basement and deprived of food. The situation was reported to the police by a concerned neighbor. The sisters were arrested, but Skrlova managed to escape by pretending to be a child. Eventually, it was discovered Barbora had fled to Norway. So,
this is a video that would propel you to believe more in coincidences than in your own logical instincts. How else could any of this be true?
do you believe in coincidences? In 1975, a young boy of 17 lost his life in a tragic accident while riding his moped. Shockingly, this accident occurred exactly 1 year after when his 17-year-old brother met the same fate, riding the same moped, in the same intersection, at the hands of the same taxi driver, carrying the same passenger. The devastating story of Iskin and Neville, the twin brothers, is an unbelievable tale of coincidence. The assassination of Archduke Ferdinand in his car triggered the onset of World War I. Notably, the license plate number of the car he was traveling in was a 11-11-18. Interestingly, November 11, 1918 was the exact date on which World War I came to an end. Now let me ask you again.
No motive for the murder, no fingerprint, just a collection of 8 different murders with 6 involving kids. It just doesn't add up.
This is one of the most gruesome and brutal mass murders in history. In the sleepy town of Villisca, Iowa, a gruesome and unsolved mystery haunts the community to this day. On the night of June 9, 1912, 8 people were brutally murdered in their beds with an axe. Among the victims were 6 children, ranging in age from 5 to 12 years old. The killer left no fingerprints and no clues, and the motive for the murders remains a mystery to this day. Despite multiple suspects and investigations over the years, the case remains unsolved. Many in Villisca still believe that the murderer's spirit lingers in the town, haunting those who dare to investigate the case or even visit the old house where the murders took place. The house where the murders took place still stands abandoned to this day, and many visitors report feeling a heavy, oppressive atmosphere and hearing strange noises in the night when they visit the area. So be careful if you find yourself in the area, because
It is first a hand knocking on the door, then comes the shadow that runs into the corner. Can you make out what this is?
Scary TikTok videos, part 37.
¿Quién?
Why are we finding it so hard to believe that these persons made use of magic? They literally sold it out to us.
How did the settlers of Easter Island move the legendary Moai statues? Their own legends claim they used magic, chanting to make the statues walk, which is low-key sounding like a better explanation than what modern science has. Overall, they made a total of 887 of these statues that surround the entire island, using compressed volcanic ash from the island's volcano Rano Raraku. Now, the big question is, how the flip did they move these things in place? Modern science claims methods used such as walking, tying ropes to the statue's head and swinging it side to side, as well as rolling them on logs of wood could have worked. And they do. We've proven them many times with experiments all around the world. Just one problem. The heaviest Moai statue we've been able to move in these experiments was 10 tons. But Rapa Nui, the original name given to Easter Island, has Moais that are up to 86 tons, almost 9 times what we've been able to replicate, as well as an unfinished one that was supposed to be around 270 tons. Not to mention, in 2012, an excavation project revealed that these statues have full-ass bodies underneath them, and only 3/8 of them are sticking above the ground. So how did they move them? Why did they bury them so deep? We out here struggling to figure out how they did it. Meanwhile, the Rapa Nui people themselves are saying, "Hey bro, we used magic." An explanation that is seen repeated among the myths of almost every other ancient structure around the world, such as the Mayan and Egyptian pyramids. Given the Rapa Nui techniques as we currently explain them, it would have taken them over a year to carve a single Moai, not to mention actually moving them on top of farming, building homes, and regular day-to-day survival tasks of their reported population of around 3,000 people. Some historians claim it would have taken them way longer than the alleged 1,000 or so years to make 900 of these things. More on that, the name that Rapa Nui gave these statues was Aringa Ora Ata Tepuna, roughly translating to the living faces of our holy ancestors, which almost sounds like they were trying to hint at being descendants of some previous civilization. Now, I'm not saying at all that the Rapa Nui people didn't do any of this. In fact, I agree with them. Their myths almost make more sense than our modern explanations. Traveling nearly 4,000 kilometers by sea with no known motivation, finding a tiny island like a needle in a haystack in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, carving and moving nearly 900 Moai statues, some of which weigh up to 90 tons, using nothing but wooden canoes, knowledge of the stars, ropes, logs, and stone tools is questionable to say the least. Accepting our current explanations of ancient history as the end-all and be-all ultimate 100% truth of what actually happened, and if you question it you should be cancelled and exiled from society, is a very close-minded way of thinking. What I'm saying is, what if ancient Polynesians were even smarter than we thought, and had technology far more advanced than we could have ever imagined, and Easter Island, Hiva, and the surrounding Pacific Islands were once part of a greater civilization with these advanced technologies that allowed them to achieve these amazing feats, that maybe got washed away by some global cataclysm, leaving behind only tiny islands sprawled throughout the Pacific, which they continue to defiantly explore. I talk about this 8th lost continent of Mu that could explain this in a previous video that got a lot of people mad. And again, I'm not saying any of this is true, it's just a crackpot what-if theory, so tear my ass up in the comments.
Why is it advised not to look into the mirror at the devil's hour? What even is the devil's hour?
Extremely creepy facts. That'll blow your mind. If you're home alone and you hear familiar voices call out your name, it is most likely a spirit trying to communicate. If you're driving late at night and you see someone distorted looking standing on the side of the road, chances are they could be a skinwalker. Do not look in the mirror at 3 a.m. It is known as the devil's hour. You may not be looking at your reflection.
Alive or dead, we might not ever get to know the real truth. This is one of the reasons why you might be better off not trying out new hobbies.
Scary phobia. Do not even try. A team of marine science majors are testing sharks in the ocean. One of the students dived into the iron cage. The iron cage was very thick, but the shark was able to break it. Until now, the identity of the student is unknown, whether he is still alive or not.
We would have to advise again, if you do not have the heart for scary paranormal videos, you might want to sit this next video out. It features a whole lot of logically unexplainable things.
Hey, cut the light. I swear I saw something move outside, and when I asked Colton to turn off the lights, I was not prepared for what we both saw. Hey, cut the light. Dude, I swear to God, I just saw something run past, like, outside. Something moved. What is that? Do you see that right there? Dude, what is that? Oh, bro, it's moving. It's moving. What the fuck is that? Oh, dude. What the fuck, bro? I thought that was a shadow. Bro. It, like, disappeared.
Dude, I'm feeling all types of weird right now, dude. You gotta understand, there's no lights out there. The only thing that we can see is the moonlight that's reflecting off of the snow outside. And right in the middle of the bridge, we both see what looks like a almost transparent black figure of some sort, just standing in the middle of the bridge.
Dude, I swear to God, I just saw something run past, like, outside. Something moved. What is that? Do you see that right there? Dude, what is that? There's just a figure, just staring at us. It looked like it was facing us from on top of the bridge. Not moving, standing still. Do you see that right there? Dude, what is that?
We don't know what's showing up on the camera, his cell phone camera at all. We're just fixated on it. And then it turns around and it bolts.
Dude, what is that? Oh, bro, it's moving. It's moving. What the fuck is that? Oh, God. Dude.
When it ran, it looked more unnatural than I've seen anything move.
Is this the result of a power surge, or was something messing with the bathroom lights as this guy suspected?
Yes? Hello? What is that? Who are you? I'm not gonna hurt you. Leave my lights alone.
There is absolutely no way to explain what is going on in this video, but one thing we can say for sure is that nothing would prepare you for what you are about to watch. Plus, it's pretty confusing.
Wake the fuck up.
What?
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
What is this?
Wake up.
Doing scary things is fun, sometimes, but other times you might go missing and no one would know what happened to you.
I want to talk to you about the story of photographer Jeffrey Holland. He was specifically known for doing these night shoots in abandoned places. That was his thing. It's supposed to have a very creepy feel to it. This photo is from his last shoot, which was never publicized, as he went missing while exploring this church in Georgia. Well, the church itself, it's just as eerie as you can imagine. Like, it's got a cemetery on the grounds, like, it's a spooky place, right? Once he did eventually go missing, police come to the last known location, which is this church. They did find his camera, and they fixated on this picture because it looked off from the rest. Kinda like shaky, like it's motion blurred, almost as if he was running or something, but if you look to the bottom left, there's something even more disturbing in this picture. He was not alone in that church. There was somebody in there with him wearing a mask. So the discovery of this photo prompted a manhunt of the grounds looking for this person, or at least evidence that they were there. They did end up recovering the mask. As of today, it remains in an evidence locker, as nobody really knows what happened to this photographer with this person.
I know you thought you were brave enough. What clip freaked you out the most? Let's hear what you have to say in the comments.